Welcome to this first panel conversation of the day. And I'm really excited to have this important discussion, so focused on employment, to kick off the day here. On my far left, we have Anil Qasemi, who is the project lead for Afghan resettlement at Universal Sponsorship Pathway UK. Anil, over to you.
Thank you very much, Helen. I'm Anil, for those of you who don't know me, and a resident refugee. I work for USP UK on the Afghan resettlement project since summer last year. I believe employment is not just a need for refugees. I think it's our lifeline, and because and it's a beacon of hope in a world of uncertainty and adversity. We want to contribute to the communities when we move, and personally I've been displaced. The first thing in my mind, all of us as a family, was to start contributing. It leads to self-sufficiency, self-respect. It reduces reliance on the social welfare, and it eases strain both on individual and as well as the host countries. And I think employing refugees, it gives the opportunity to move one from being a burden to contributors to the communities.
Thank you. Again, I think all beautifully said.
When I moved to the bridging accommodation, obviously employment was top priority for me. However, it was never easy. It was very challenging. Firstly, because we were waiting to get, we were not so sure where we will be housed, so it was very difficult and challenging to plan ahead. And secondly, upon securing accommodation, the daunting task of employment began for me. It was very complicated, very challenging. I remember applying for jobs, even if they didn't align with my career aspiration, and often a lot of rejections. But I think the challenges were for me when applying for jobs were not knowing which websites are best to apply, not knowing basically not having the network and confidence, and being able to express and impress under pressure. Obviously, the trauma of leaving Afghanistan was on top. However, I reached out to the Refugee Council, who I had, that were providing support. And with their help, I revamped my CV. I learned skills. I learned network, sector-focused websites, and they referred me to a recruitment agency. 2 days after my interview with the recruitment agency, they hired me, and for over the next 10 months, not only I expanded my network, but I received a great deal of support and motivation and guidance, and I have a very good relationship with them now.
Yes, thank you for sharing this personal experience. And how did this actually inform your work?
Yes, indeed, it has. I mean, since joining USP UK last summer, one aspect that always fills me with pride is that it offers opportunity for displaced individuals like myself to leverage our experience and to shape the work we are doing. And this autonomy, and I think this autonomy has really provided us the opportunity to plan the work we are doing, given that we now work with refugees who might be facing the same challenges as I did.
Yeah. Wonderful. Anil, USP UK supports Ukrainians and Afghans living in the UK. What can you tell us a bit more maybe about their experiences trying to get a job, but also what's the significance of these milestones? We talked a little bit about that already, but also do you see any similarities or differences in the barriers that they face, these different groups?
Yes, absolutely. Please allow me to share a little bit of experience and data on this one. In terms of Afghans who arrived under ACRS and Arab schemes to the UK, the main challenge, of course, is the housing, which is stopping the refugees to get employment as well, because they spend a lot of time in bridging accommodations. Last summer, in collaboration with More in Common, we conducted a survey to better understand the barriers that Afghans under Arab and ACRS schemes are facing. We had a network, so we fostered a network to better understand the challenges they're facing, and it was the first systematic, from an organization point of view, approach to basically understand them. And upon doing the survey, of different Afghans, we realized that in terms of challenges, obviously housing was first, and then we asked what was the most important thing to you, to a place where you want to live. The top questions the number of people responded were, the majority of them said, close to job opportunities. I think that indicates the importance and willingness of refugees trying to get into job opportunities. And out of that number, we had 31% of the whole cohort who were employed into some employment. 61% were still looking for employment. And alarmingly, 51% of the women were not looking for employment, which I think were because of the language barriers. And moving on to some of the challenges that the cohort face is language barriers and childcare responsibilities and lack of network. They don't have information, as the survey revealed that the huge number of Afghans don't have resettlement knowledge. And the same with the displaced Ukrainians. They have, obviously, language is one obstacle, and then their qualifications are not recognized in the UK. So often they have to get an extra education to be able to qualify for those jobs, and again, childcare responsibilities, and to an extent, lack of information applies to Ukrainians too.
Yeah, thank you. That's very clear. Move to enable more of the people you support to access work. Also reflecting maybe a bit on what you've heard. What's your view?
Thank you, Helen. I think to improve employment for refugees, a multifaceted approach is critical, given realizing the challenges. Improving access and more access to English courses, especially given that majority of refugees, if they are far away from the main cities. Helping them with getting the CVs done, as you have been doing, and obviously mentoring programs like TENT has now. A lot of people need mentorship programs in terms of employment, and then guiding them through the support that already exists from within the government and the humanitarian organizations and charities. It's important to signpost individuals and refugees to get the advantage of these supports that are available. However, perhaps the most crucial aspect, I think, is an openness and willingness from the employers to hire refugees, to give them the opportunity. And I think by doing so, they're tapping into a dedicated and passionate workforce. And something which is also very important to highlight is that refugees are having a lot of refugees are having mental health issues. Because they're being separated from their loved ones, because they're going through a very difficult journey. And by providing employment, it's not only about a financial stability. I think employment is also about a source of healing, and it allows the refugees to heal and to move with legacy. And it's a duty to carry it forward. It's offers solidarity and hope. And in terms of responsibility, and in terms of opportunity, I think some of the best and successful businesses around the world are hiring diverse group of people and giving equal opportunity to individuals. And I think more importantly, we are also going a massive age shift. The UK has, for example, 11 million people aged 65. And for example, in 10 years' time, this will have increased to 13 million, almost 22% of the population. So it makes economical sense to hire refugees. And I think it's a good opportunity to do so. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you all for all your wise words, for sharing your experiences and great contributions.